I almost feel like Bob Dylan singing a song right now, saying, "Hello, America, how are you? Don't you know that I'm your favorite son?" I'm a lousy singer. Anyway, it's almost close to 1:40 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. Give about another minute or two. If I can just barely see the damn clock without my glasses on. It's about the 25th of May, 2023 for a Thursday. Weaver, John C. Roseman, California. The diary of the griever named John Weaver would be me. Okay. Yeah. First one's dealing with the politics this morning. Now we got to deal with the video that earns the title. Diary of the griever named John Weaver. So in order to bypass the politics and not see Ron DeSantis make an ass of himself, or anybody else for that matter, you switch over to different shows, different things to see and watch, and then you get your ass reamed left and right. I think I was pumping out videos because I was that utterly depressed about it. I'm not apologizing for it, though. That's the thing. I mean, I've seen other videos where people are saying, well, I'm sorry I said that. I'm saying, I'm not saying that. I say it as is because I'm dealing with it as is at that moment, and that's how it is. If I'm pissing off people, then I'm pissing off people left and right. It's not that I intend intentionally to do so. It simply means I'm going through the process, not you. Now, if you were going through the process of the grieving of mourning, if you had missed a person, if you actually had been going through the anniversaries, then you would understand what I talk about these days. And it may seem like it's impersonal and cold as hell, but sometimes I'm dealing with it as impersonal and cold as hell. Because I'm dealing with the wave of emotions that are tearing me apart left and right, so I say as it is. Because I'm telling you what I'm going through at this point over here. But if you happen to relate with it, then you're relating to it. Then you understand why things are happening the way they are. And sometimes we actually have no control over some of this stuff. Except I know some people like to take medications for the damn stuff. Let them have fun with it. Not me. I've seen my family suppress the emotions so damn much. It practically was giving him health issues left and right. And as I keep understanding and reading from little snippets here and there from the medical institutions out there, even emotional health has a detriment to the physical health and well-being of our own bodies and our own minds. So if we are emotionally and spiritually royally screwed up at this point, you imagine what kind of physical manifestations are already involving in our bodies and what behaviors we're doing that affects our bodies, which also affects the rest of us. Don't you hate these vicious cycles? I do sometimes. I couldn't even go to bed feeling good about things. I was feeling so damn depressed about it, it's not even funny. Yesterday was a major. Yesterday was a major thing. Besides being National Brothers Day, it was just memories coming out left and right. And not to mention, we're dealing with Memorial Weekend, which is even worse for me. So I was trying to explain in the other videos. My brother and I were very close. I couldn't join the military. He joined the military. I can only support the military. I couldn't join the military unless I was going to be working as a civilian. And the thing of it is, the emotions are the things that usually tear us apart more and more. Because how do we control it? How do we control ourselves in that situation? There's. I got no answers for that one. I really don't. But I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with what I've got and what I'm dealing with these days. It got to the point where I had to do fast food. You're going to shake your head on that one. Go ahead. Now, usually when you're doing fast food, or actually when I'm doing fast food, it means I've got an issue. uh, I'm not cooking. I'm too damn blasé. No, not blasé. I'm too damn depressed to cook. I got things to cook. I have dishes I could fix. It takes effort. It takes mental effort to get me going at this point over here instead of wasting $40 on taco schmel. Yeah, that bad. So now my stomach's still dealing with it, and I get the weird ass dreams on this one here. But the emotional part is, was I actually satisfied? Not really. But it was something I needed to do because I was too damn lazy. Well, I could say it. Too damn lazy because of the damn depression kicking my ass. If the depression was not kicking my ass in this situation, then I would have fixed up a pot of pasta. I would have boiled some or heated some. Well, I'm usually boiling things anyway. Meatballs, the frozen kind. I would grab out some shredded cheese and chopped up some onions. You know how I usually heat stuff for eating without a microwave? I miss a microwave. I really miss a microwave. But I also miss a working stove that actually has working burners. But ideal, I cope and I work with it. It takes some time. And plus the fact I still got to clean the damn thing up a great deal. It's a lot of paper towels to use up. Grease traps and bugs and stuff. But I gotta get rid of it anyway. I need to get rid of that and also have an area where I can have the bug guy do his bug bombing the place. Anyway, pot of water, 68 quart. Get rid just so you get the water going. Put the plate on top. Have an oversized dome lid. Put it on top of your plate. I mean, by this time, if the water's almost getting to the boiling point, I mean, you can remove the top lid of the pot itself, put it aside. You can put your plate on there, put the oversized dome on it, so the heat and the steam can go into the dome and circulate. Therefore, I'm using the convection of a dome lid to heat things up. Not to mention, the heat is coming up from the pot itself, from the heated water, to heat the plate up. So we got cooking going on. Takes about 15-20 minutes. By that time, the cheese is already melted, the butter is already gooey, so is the cheesy, and it's ready for to be eating. A bit mediocre, sometimes on the heat, but the heat in the plate will still cook it. Makes things sticky a bit, but that's okay. I heat my dog food up that way too. Put some hamburger, chicken, a little bit of flavoring such as watered down chicken broth. Just a bit of salt just to get her attention. She'll drink up the broth before she'll eat the other food first. When she really gets hungry, she'll eat the food. I learned how to cook on one particular burner. Several pots can share one particular burner at a time. Cooking process is slow. That's how I do it. Hey, I'm still eating. I could even fix coffee. I don't have a working coffee pot. So I get the double boiler, boil up the water. When I get it hot and bubbly, I already got coffee crystals, flavoring. I can even put it into a container like this all the damn time. Great one though. Or this one. Whichever's clean and which one's available. And I could drink the coffee all day that way. Yeah, at one time I actually had, or I've been many times, I've actually had a coffee maker. Mr. Coffee was usually the ones I was always picking. Maybe sometimes Hamilton Beach. But they would be things I'd used most of my life. But now, more coffee. Would you believe it costs about $30 or $40 just to get a porcelain one? A porcelain stove coffee pot. Camping coffee pot, actually. If you actually have the right filters for it, but if not, well, paper towels and tissue paper work for filters. In the basket, you put your amount of coffee that you got in there compared to the amount of water that you're going to be pouring in there. Usually maybe about 1 or 2 cups worth of it, so maybe about a few teaspoons if you're lucky, or just for the flavor in there. And you have the water filled up to a level, put your basket in the pot, and you put it on the stove or campfire. The convection and the water bubbling like crazy. Water would go through the pot, up to the lid, and into the basket. Sometimes the basket would have the water bubbling through the pipes. I think for other brands do that. And go right into the filter and mix with everything. Short time later, you got coffee. What they really would call about cowboy coffee is when you have water and you've got your amount of coffee grounds in the water. And I've been watching videos on this one. It's weird, but that's how they made also coffee. And they boil this stuff up. Make sure that all the damn coffee grounds are boiled to the ground to the level. I mean, everything's floating to the top, and then there's this sink. You wait for about a few minutes or something like that, and then you take it off the heat. And now either you can dip the damn stuff with a measuring cup, or you slowly pour the pot or the pan into your cup. And there you have cowboy coffee. That particular technique was a survival technique. Because in that situation there, it was used back in our 94 earthquake when we had no power in portions of the San Fernando Valley right after that monster hit us in January. We had to cook on a barbecue. Coals, we had to constantly use like crazy. And if we're going to be fixing breakfast, we put pans on top of the barbecue thing. So we heat up the pans and fry things in that. Fix whatever we can on the barbecue itself. We did camp out. And if we wanted coffee, well, we didn't have the coffee crystals with us, not the dehydrated, but we had the regular coffee. So, cowboy coffee. I cannot stand coffee like that because I got too many grounds I'm drinking through. I prefer it more filtered. But that was survival at the time, and it's still survival right now. I'm still dealing with the bug war, dealing with damn bugs. Because of Memorial Weekend's here, there's nobody coming in Monday, so I'm going to have to get this place cleaned up, maybe a little more than it is. How am I dealing emotionally regarding this right now as it is? I probably got triggered too many damn times as it is. I'm dealing, I'm coping, and I'm functioning. That's the only thing I can do right now. Hardly had anybody trying to contact me to see how the hell I'm doing these days. Everyone else has their own damn life. And always a question. Why don't you smile? Why don't you go out? Caught up in so much damn depression and grieving these days, it's not even funny. Some days I can try getting out of the house and taking care of my dog, walking around her a little bit. If there was a thunderstorm happening in the summertime, and we actually had some unstable air mixing it up, it makes some great aerial shots. People see me running around with this damn camera phone, just taking shots left and right, probably think I'm an asshole or an idiot. Maybe a little bit of both, but I was trying to get the best pictures I can and videos of it too. Waiting for the damn thunderstorm to kick in, waiting for the lightning and thunder, and just take shots of it. Why not? I take pictures of the clouds, and if the sun hits them in a certain way, in a certain fashion, I can see the rays. I can see the separation. It's not jagged, it's linear. And it's the weirdest damn thing I had to see in the sky. I'd seen them online, but when I start seeing them in person and taking pictures, I'm like, oh wow. Those are the things I usually get jazzed up for more and more. I get excited over that dumb stuff. People get, if they happen to see a lunar eclipse, they're like, oh wow, look at that. And I'm like, we have a solar eclipse, we have a partial eclipse. Yeah. Oh look, we got streaks in the sky. It's just clouds in the sky. I mean, I just don't see it. You're not looking at it hard enough. Sometimes certain shapes would come out of it. Use your imagination, start clicking away like crazy. But if the light hits it in a certain fashion and you see those linear patterns coming out in a fan, in the shape of a fan, oh, those are the things. Those are the things I go for. Because to me, it's like a piece of heaven I'm looking at. It's like a piece of heaven. And it gives me a little bit of peace of mind. Buried in the numerous flash drives I've got are pictures like that. In fact, this past week, we had the thunderstorms coming through. Different areas were getting the lightning thunder. I only got a couple of them, not much. During nighttime, they're spectacular. Now, during the daytime, well, you can hardly ever see them coming unless they're going to be booming right in front of you. But what I was looking for mostly, the cloud formations building up to the point, and if there was any stragglers hitting in front of the sun, and I start seeing those ray bands coming, I was like, come on, phone, start working fast. I don't think I ever shared that with Ma or Dave when they were alive. I know David thought it was crazy every time there was a thunderstorm coming by. And when we started living out here, it was one thing decades ago when my brother and I and my mother were living out in the San Fernando Valley. We're out in Woodley Street at one time. And we saw the thunderstorms roll into the into the valley, and my brother's sitting on top of the damn roof of his car. He's watching this thing. Come on, John, check out the show. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're gonna open season here. No, I'm not. I'm insulated. I'm like, you dumb fuck. You schmuck. You're going to be hit. No, I'm not. He sees the lightning hit another pole. Like, okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. How'd you know about that shit? I learn. I read. I didn't say I was smart. I said I learn, I read, I study. I know he usually goes for the tallest item anyway that he certainly can, but if not, it'll still hit the ground. Even if you're laying down, you'll still hit your ass. You get into a ditch, maybe make yourself the lowest point. Maybe you'll survive long enough. People hide under a tree because they think tree is going to be safe for them. Hardly. How many people are getting fried in so many Trees getting blasted and shocked. Florida, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I can say that one. I remember about 10, 15 years ago watching on cable. There was a scientific group uh, doing experimentations in Florida during the rainy seasons, especially when you have the thunderstorms getting in. They were trying to make determinations about what makes the spark going, what makes the formations, what's the atmospheric conditions that create that phenomena. I wish I could see that video again because I'd love to see that thing again. Not because of the shocks, but because of what they were saying concerning about the land lightning in the first place. They were measuring ions in the air. If the ions were reaching certain peak points, and both in the upper atmosphere and on the lower ground, it made the conductivity poof right there. They'd launch out rockets with a wire lead, and if the atmosphere was just right, wham! You'd see the light. You see the wire light up like crazy, and I'm like, holy, yeah. And when you're in New York City, when they actually have the thunderstorms roll in, all those damn buildings with the spires on them or metal rods sticking up, lightning rods. The lightning would hit the rod, the electricity would go through the building and into the ground. They are grounded. That's why when lightning hits a person and it goes out through if the person is standing on ground, okay, and the lightning hits them, it's going through the body and into the ground. But there had been discoveries where the energy is also leaping up into the atmosphere. That's why I wanted to see that video again one more time, just to make sure this was the actual thing happening. If the energy was actually leaping up from the ground into the atmosphere, whoa, that's a hell of a thing right there, isn't it? All I know is lightning coming from the ground and hitting down, and then watching science shows like that also kind of made me geek out a lot more and understand things. I also had taken geology classes, and I really wasn't good at studying the stuff or memorizing all of it. I should have. But it still retained some knowledge in my head of what to expect concerning about earthquakes. I wanted to learn about geology to study about quakes because it scared the living crap out of me. And I needed something to study out of just so I can get past the damn fear. I still don't trust earthquakes. They're the sneakiest bastards we got out there. We could see a convectional storm building up. We'll see whether or not the thing's going to be, if the winds are going to be turning from this into that kind of a vortex. And then you see the tornado or dust storm. Oh, I love this one. Try this one. We don't even get that in the air out here in Antelope Valley. But we get dust devils all the damn time. If the wind in the atmosphere is generating enough wind, one way or another, we'll get the vortices. We'll get the sudden rush of a dust devil right there. Sometimes it's minor, and other times it's large and scary. There's been videos popped up on YouTube and other places where at this one Little League game, right at the pitcher's plate, you had this thing formed. And it took the umpire or coach, one of the two adults, grabbing the player and protecting him. Because I think there was enough suction in it to bring him up. But it wasn't cloudy, it was sunny. We get them all the time out here. In the deeper deserts or even closer in the desert regions or even in the metropolitan areas that we have. We get the dust devils. The atmosphere gets turbulent enough. We don't see the clouds, but the winds get turbulent enough. Or we get a dust devil here, dust devil there, dust devil there. You ever see them larger than that? Almost looks like they're damn tornadoes. But there's no clouds to generate them. But there is wind. Some of the reasons why I like living out here in the desert because it's so damn interesting sometimes. Other times I miss the San Fernando Valley, but then I'm thinking, no, I don't. I really don't. Without family to be there and explore the place all by myself, it's just so lonely out there. Or going out to the coastline and seeing the coastline. I think I've seen enough of it in my lifetime. So I'm landlocked. But that's alright. The desert scenery out here sometimes changes, and you never know what the hell you're going to expect to get out here. Yeah, that's what you get for living in the Antelope Valley out here. They call it the High Desert. Next to us is the Apple Valley, extension of it. The lower regions they call the Palm Desert, Palm Springs. They also get them too, but the High Desert, we get them out here because of the winds and the elevations. So it's not all that bad. Not yet, anyway. Okay, enough of me doing the more than blathering at this point over here. Time for me to crawl back into bed, I hope. Until then, guys.